Close this. Oh, you
There it
stop
is.
this? No, this is okay, right?
This is, yes, you're good.
Okay, good. And I got a projector. Okay, cool. All right. So, okay, that was fun. So, I mean, we can. I'm not going to try to analyze this crazy thing, but I mean, the point was to sort of get us all into the mindset of designing games and what the things are that go into it. And it's interesting what people left off, so we'll get to those things. But what happened to my cool camera here? It disappeared. Where did I hide it? Flip it over here. Ah. Okay, so one thing which is pretty clear now, but because I've mentioned it before, but if we look at the games that we've picked so far that look like the candidates that are going to win, although I hope you guys overnight had more caucuses and discussions, so we'll know better, because we are going to try, by the way, this afternoon to actually pick the people, so and actually start working on the game brief for the game. So, as you can, at least, which of the games we've picked so far are not really games, or the products we picked so far are not really games. Like, you think of Happy Sad, that's not really a game. Which other ones are not really games? Brandon's that, yep. Which one else? The other one, so they're after the game. Uh, yeah. Right. But I mean, one of the points is that anything, I think any product you build could be improved and made more engaging by making it game like. And you see this everywhere, right? I mean, even it's almost like the introduction of videos that are shown to you when you first start using a product, and you're sort of encouraged to watch all of it, start giving you a game-like experience. Or even many sites that say your profile is 10% filled out. That's kind of a game dynamic that's encouraging you by telling you your kind of time to sort of fill in the rest of the profile. So people are getting very clever about using these kinds of dynamics to make anything be more engaging. But that's always the problem. That's one of the worries I've got with some of these apps we talked about is how do we get engagement? How do we go from a really cool app that it's the color problem, right? A really cool app that all your friends love, but you can't get enough people to use it to make it work. And that process of getting from one user to enough to make it work is every bit as difficult. In fact, probably more difficult, and more products sort of fall into the pit by not figuring out a strategic way how they're going to get from nothing to a lot. And there's a lot of ways. I won't get into it now, but that's where game dynamics often are used to try to encourage you to keep on using it more and more and tell your friends. You might, give people rewards and so on. Okay. So what's a game? So a game is something you play, right? We saw that in the article or in the readings. And the toy, I mean, I found this all very interesting. So I won't go into all, I have a lot of discussion questions, so I won't actually dive into every one. But one interesting question that I saw somewhere is, we talked about fun or enjoyment or pleasure and so on, which is sort of the payoff for somebody playing the game. And one interesting question is, if I don't have an answer to, which is to describe, can anybody come up with a fun experience that is totally devoid of surprises? Something that's fun that has no surprises. Yeah. I wouldn't know. Yeah. Pardon? Oh, come on. It's full of surprises. Are you serious? The way you feel it. Okay. Oh, how about it? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. What else? Yeah. You must be a good man. That's right. Yeah. You must be a good man. Has anybody finished the book or finished the movie and immediately watched it again right away? I've done that many times, and it's weird, but because you read the book, I find I read the book really fast because I want to see how it ends. And then I really liked it, and I realized that all kinds of stuff I kind of glossed over and then go back and actually read it. So I've done that. Yeah. So okay. So so let's try to make a list of what makes some activities fun and try to avoid the off-color stuff. Okay. What makes an activity fun? You already got surprise. I'm gonna put it here. Okay. What's the fun experience? Riding a roller coaster. What else is fun about riding a roller coaster? Yeah. Just stop. Forget about the hands now. Yeah. Yeah. The only reason you go to because you want to. Yeah. So self-motivated. Yeah. Mental engagement. Yeah. Yeah. How about effective reward at the end? Stimulating. Which is very similar to that, I would say. Not too far. Right. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. How about things that are fun but are not competitive? Cooperative things that are fun. Throwing the ball back and forth. That's fun. No surprise, no problem. Self-motivated. Huh? That, you know, huh? Social engagement, right? So, but being with people. Similar, but it's different. Yeah. Environment. We have that. Huh? Yeah, we have that. So these are interesting lists, and we'll see other lists like this in the book. Debate, you know, like there was one I saw, which was pleasure and misery of others, as a way to have fun. You know, like you know, like a practical joke. You know, that's fun because you're sort of giving somebody misery and safe. But anyway, these are good things to sort of keep in mind, and you'll find lists all over this, articles, the book has this list. So it's clearly, you know, something you can debate until forever. But it is useful to think about because in the end, the way you're going to get people to play your game, whether it's a computer game or not, is by making it fun, enjoyable, pleasurable in some sense or another. So his official definition was fun is pleasure with surprises. Fun is pleasure with surprises. Implying that pleasure without surprises is not fun. Okay? Arguable. Anyway. Pardon? Uh-huh. Well, that's, yeah. Like 100 Ways to Die, that TV show? Sorry, it's 1,000, yeah. Okay, so the difference between, here's another interesting brain teaser. This is all to help us think more like game designers. There's no correct answers, but what is the difference between a game and a puzzle? Right? What is the difference between a game and a puzzle? Maybe. Say more. How can I tell if something is like to answer those questions? Is tic-tac-toe a game or a puzzle? Is a Rubik's Cube a game or a puzzle? And there's other examples that are common. What is the cannibal, pigs or whatever it is? That story. Yeah. Pardon? Right, exactly. Yeah, you think those things are both games? Can you? Is there a gut feel? Is there something that says why? Yeah, right. What if someone makes 3 men moves in a Rubik's Cube and gives it to somebody else, and they have to undo it? So it can't be. I think because there's a goal. Maybe. No, but the goal was there before. The goal is to get it all green, red, and whatever. Huh? Right. Well, I mean. Right. Right.
Well, I think tic-tac-toe is a game until you figure out what that is a puzzle. Because there's only a certain number of moves you can make. And with perfect play, there is only there's no solution. Like you will get high every single time. But a Rubik's Cube is a puzzle as well, unless you add a concept like, okay, I want to do this to be faster than somebody else. And then it becomes a competition and therefore
So wait, so you're saying that if there's a clear way to win every time, then it's a puzzle?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, no. Well, right. Well, until you know the secret. Maybe Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think about it is like old games have puzzles, but puzzles are sort of like without like disguise or being around them. Like they're sort of in that disguise puzzles. And I found puzzles to be fun. Fun. Like people
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this. There's chess for games and chess puzzles.
Okay.
But the games, they're all in there, just like puzzles are usually like unexpected. Like little combinations that will give you an answer.
Right. But
Chess moves as a puzzle.
yeah.
The chess itself is not just puzzles. It's not just passes, it's also the like strategy.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we suggest, which essentially defines the problems from within games.
Yeah.
You can have a game about a problem, but you can't have a problem about a game.
Right. I mean, so another view, sort of picking up on what you were saying, is that a puzzle is an activity that has a perfect solution, but everybody doesn't know it yet. Okay. So tic-tac-toe is because once you know it, then it's not fun. It's not a puzzle nor a game. It's nothing. It's done. So once you figure out how to win a tic-tac-toe, then it's no longer fun. But the fact that there is a correct solution means that makes it a puzzle. So that kind of applies to your chess games.
Why isn't it just one like perfect solution? There could be multiple solutions
Sure.
that are fairly good and you're not success.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, the term that I've seen used is that there's a dominant strategy. So there's a strategy that if you know it, you know you can win. And once you're playing an opponent that has that, obviously, and there's no dominant strategy for chess.
That's the other thing.
Huh?
Chess is too dynamic.
Right. But and Rubik, if you had a Rubik's cube that was 2 by 2. Oh, yeah. I actually didn't know it existed, but anyway, I was just making that up. That it was clear how you solved it, but not everybody knew it. It would be a puzzle until you discovered it, and then it wouldn't be fun anymore. So I would say that's a pretty good definition. A game, it's a subset of games, like somebody said, but it has a dominant strategy, and it's only fun as long as you haven't figured out, or you're not playing an opponent that knows it, because then it loses all its fun.
I disagree.
Okay.
I view Rubik's Cube out like I know how to do it, and I'll do it on the computer. Knowing how to do it is so fun.
I didn't say that's what made it fun or not fun. I just said that's what made it, because I agree with you. There's a lot of things you know exactly how to do. Just throw a ball up in the air, and it's fun. But there's no. But what it makes it a puzzle is an activity that where you can articulate a solution, but not everybody knows it, and so it's fun until you figure it out.
Also,
yeah.
using the Rubik's Cube on a regular basis, you want to look at any making answer, or you just going to click on. And what are you thinking about when you're doing it? Because if you're thinking about something else while doing it, that's not your common activity. It's just what you're thinking. And if you're not making sense, like you just keep going to click on.
It has to be meditation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'd say that's right. And then you can like focus and just relax. But like I'll think about something else.
Yeah, there are things that are purely repetitive that are fun. Because like that, or like throwing the ball back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to go at the question another way again, which is to look at these characteristics that, according to this book, games have, and let's try to think of exceptions to them, which is kind of an interesting thing too, because that also helps us think kind of analytically about games. Okay, so actually somebody mentioned this in our list over there. Games are entered willfully. So what is a game? Can you think of a game-like activity that you would consider a game where you're not entering it willfully?
Yeah, sure. Like all those people are playing the game that they don't want to.
What game is that? What?
It's a movie. It's a movie series.
Oh, Saw. Would they consider that's where their body parts are getting sawed off?
Technically, it's a game because there's a goal and you can win or lose. But they're not entering it willfully.
Okay, all right. Yeah, and so they're making strategies to try to win. Yeah. Okay. And that's a good one, actually. I didn't have an answer to that one myself. What about games? Can you think of what is the goal of a player in a tennis game? And secondly, what if you're not keeping score? Is it then no longer a game? What is the goal of somebody playing that? To win. Pardon? Right.
Like a lot of times
Exactly.
But are they playing a game at that point, or are they just playing?
I think they're still playing the game based on care about it. They can be playing.
Yeah.
Instead of leveling up score, they're leveling up their skill set,
Yeah.
which is again incremental.
Or building things.
Yeah. That's really
Is that a game? Do we think so? Those are games in your mind. Even I would agree that they're enjoyable activities, but are they games?
Well, say you're playing, and while you're playing, you get to know the person a lot better, and you're trying to hang out with them. I
Yeah.
would think winning that game would be obtaining a better friendship or something. Or having,
And so you would consider it a game?
I don't know.
Or like for example, playing tennis,
Yeah.
you're not like socializing or anything.
Right.
It's fun.
Right.
And you're like you're getting better while you play it. There's no goal, there's no surprise.
Right.
But playing tennis is not.
Right. And I like playing tennis without keeping court. Playing tennis.
I think this whole discussion is just out of the rabbit hole. Because we feel like the goal is to build a friendship. The goal is to like, enjoy the sensation of playing.
Right.
And what doesn't have a goal? Like everything has a goal.
Right.
Project.
Yeah. No, I think that's why for me the question I'm thinking about is if somebody observes this and you ask them, is what's going on there a game? What they say is. I mean, everything. These all things are fun. Because I think one of the premises is that, that when we're talking about game design, we're building things that when they're done, we have something called a game. Now, I start off by saying, in this course, we're not having a very strict definition of game, but for the purpose of this particular discussion, that's kind of what I'm looking at. What can we call a game? What can we call a game? And this is going to help because when you're trying to design your game, you're going to be able to look at these things and look at what you're doing in each case and think about whether or not you can improve your game by adding something that you don't have or making a change. It's more like a checklist. Each of these things become like checklists. Just like we intuitively know when we look at a magazine, how to judge what part of it is good that we like, we don't like, because we've seen a lot of magazines. What this is trying to do is to get you thinking a little bit more in a more structured way about games, and that'll help you design better games.
And also,
Yeah.
the first one, trying to make friendship, how would you write that book of games? How would you describe that game? Seem a bit funny to say that all this game is
No, I would say that you
there
wouldn't
are friendship building games.
Right.
And trust building games.
Right, but I think that's that articulation of that objective is what makes it a game. And I think when the two of us are playing tennis, that may be below the surface, but it doesn't make any difference. But I think I agree with you. You can go nuts on this question. So, okay, let's talk about do all games have conflict? What's the conflict in playing solitaire? Yeah.
And solitaire, you don't always like sometimes you get stuck. It's not on one side sitting all the time.
Yeah.
And then you see that you can get stuck.
Yeah.
The conflict is you against your luck or you against
Exactly. Sometimes people, when thinking about games, treat luck or chance as another player. By the way, guys that have your computers open, it would be nice to close it so that I know you guys are involved in the discussion. But anyway, so solitaire has your conflict is in the way. I mean, you can get mad at the deck. Like, I can't believe I got that again. I just got that, right? So there's the conflict there. All games have rules. Do all games have rules? Can you think of a game? Sorry. Say what? Like you're building things in a class.
I mean, it depends on you use rules like that are explicitly stated or rules that are implicit. If you include implicitly everything, I would argue yeah, like Minecraft, as you suggested, you have no explicit rules. You can do whatever you want. You're not limited.
But you said your own rules.
We explain Minecraft a little bit.
Minecraft builds without a block. And you turn like outside of
You don't have to build that. You don't have to build that. You don't have to build that. You can build nothing, you can build everything. It doesn't end.
So it's like Tinker Toys.
Yeah.
You can build whatever you want.
It's like Tinker Toys is sort of like a first person NLRPG style.
Right.
It's not NLRPG. That's the style.
Yeah.
Is it a computer game or is it a?
Yeah, it's a single player.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think as far as rules go, if there are things that you can't do,
Yeah.
then they're,
Right. But if somebody said everything in the end has a rule, I mean,
yeah.
but it's a good point. So I mean, I think the other question I had was: is there any game which I don't know where the players are allowed to change the rules within the game?
Oh yeah. Now, Mountain Ball.
So explain.
Okay, so now,
How do you spell that? First of all.
NAO.
Oh, okay. Just like it's
It's named after Trevor Mountain. I don't think it's actually changed the rules in the game. So
Uh-huh.
there's like sort of a dungeon master who's the now.
Yeah.
And there's the players.
Yeah.
It's a card game.
Uh-huh.
And so no one actually, you start off not knowing the rules.
Yeah.
And now it'll sort of tell you when you like pick up cards.
I like it.
Pick up cards and do something wrong, right? You have to figure out when to play a card. And then I think every so often now is actually add rules.
Does Mao have any rules by which he needs to behave? Or, I mean, can you get mad at Mao because he's like being random?
I don't remember. I think maybe not, because we're
Yeah.
in Egypt. Not sure.
Yeah. All right.
It's sort of like Simon's right. Simon can do whatever he wants.
Right. Yeah. No, I think
It takes Simon says so.
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Does it say Simon says so?
Well, that's
If you see that means you don't listen to him.
I think we're examining
That's king.
Kings is a drinking game,
Yeah.
and it's also for the card.
Yeah.
And when you hit the, I think the king card,
Yeah.
the ace card,
Yeah.
you get to add in the rule. So a rule could be, the people then start animal senses with, in accordance to prophecy, to like the drink.
Uh-huh.
If you say someone else's name,
Uh-huh.
you take a drink, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there are rules for adding rules.
Yeah.
I think that, games are allowed to change the rules, you do have rules for changing the rules.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Cool. So anyway, so we see how games have rules. Some of the rules are changeable, some of them are not, and there's even. Is there any game, not so much that literally has no rules, not that you can make up the rules? Can you have a game that has no rules? I mean, what would it be called a game? You have activities.
Play it.
That's not, is that a game?
Go play it.
Right.
Yeah, they make up the rules.
All right. Games are interactive. What?
You're not bound by it. Even though you make the rule explicitly, it's not like that's illegal. Like, oh, I won't step on crap. That's your own rule. But when you step on a crap, there's no consequence. It's not like the game will stop.
Right.
Yeah, it does stop. Why would it stop? If I say your rules about not stepping on crap, so silly, and you step on it, just like lunch, and I'm not going to. No, every 10 years.
It's a solitary game. Anyway, so let's see another one. How about games are interactive? Name a game whose unit of interaction takes weeks. Yeah.
Like the competition where you're building something?
Okay. Like.
Like a robot building competition?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. What family did you grow up in? Play, move, go away for a couple of weeks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's true. It never ends. It never ends.
What about online chess where you take you take a turn and you take it out?
Scott, I think it's either a week or never.
Yeah. Correspondence chess. The two of us came up with that, the old guys. So, yeah. So games, but in the end they are interactive. They just the interaction interval can be ridiculously long. Right. In other words, there's something that's happening out there, and you're gambling. You're predicting the outcome. Pardon? Yeah, or any kind of prediction. Prediction game, sports betting. Yeah, absolutely. And there you could be. I mean, like, and you could be predicting something that's a year out. Or I don't even know how often the World Cup happens. So it's 4 years out. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on this list that we want to discuss? I want to kind of move on. Because closed formal systems, I already talked about that. Not necessarily. You can add rules or change rules if you want to. Which other one is interesting? games have a challenge. Is there a game where there's no challenge? Because this is our, well, this was for fun or pleasure, all this. Game where there's no challenge.
I don't think flower.
No, but go ahead, tell me about that.
It's a game on the PS3.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of win, and you can put flower colors, and that's about it. The whole point of it is just like it's a winning instead of
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Is there a ball?
You sort of set them up so that you like collect all the flowers and
Yeah.
forward, but I often do it with it just in a few water around.
Right, right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I love Call of Duty. Like, I'm just too fun.
There is challenge.
How about rock, paper, scissors?
Go online. Yeah.
Have you found it?
Black Ops.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, right. Right, that does get to another important point in thinking about engagement in the game, which is challenge is important, but you have to make sure it's appropriately challenged at every stage of the game, so you don't frustrate them. Yeah. Do you have an example? Wow.
Yeah.
That.
But the difficult is very, like, it could be difficult and not frustrating somehow.
Right. Or maybe it's frustrating, it's hard to win, you have to die 100 times, but there's other things that give you enjoyment in the process. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember when I was visiting Mexico a few years ago, and we were at this Indian ruins, and there they had a game where they played a basketball-like game, and the losing team was killed. Literally, they died. So that's huh? Yeah, but this is a team sport. Yeah. Or was it the captain of the team? I don't know. But anyway, somebody got killed. Yeah. So that was pretty awful. Okay. So anyway, so here's another definition out of the book, which is pretty interesting. A game is a problem-solving activity approached with a playful attitude. Interestingly, in this definition, he does not mention a lot of the details we were trying to explore just now. But anyway, it's just one more way to look at it. So what I'd like to do next is two things. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Yes. Let's really quickly, again, break into groups. And I have, pardon? Oh, okay, let's take a break and then good. Let's take a break. Good point, thanks. Yes.
No dinosaur. I want to be the guy flying and playing. This is fun.
I want to know that.
Yeah, I'm downloading it now. So I can go now. It's going on.
What should I do?
That's good. They have it on the
Yeah,
guy.
so you need it to,
I'm doing something. When I asked her, I just
I want to be the guy for WSB to move. And it's 7, 5, yeah, you're alright. You can have fun watching that.
how many legs you have?
Look at it.
he's beating the entire game. I guess you're the final boss.
Go backwards, go all the way back.
Yeah.
Go all the way back to the right. No, right.
Very bad.
No, I don't know.
No, not that. The left side is
All right. That is this is jump. Yeah. So when you really ladder, you go like that, right? And then down. Ah, so yeah. No, it's going to be and then it was 50 that would be in the ladder. Oh. Ooh. You don't have to worry about that one.
What happened?
Captain's suggesting we have brainstorming sessions outside with sidewalk shop.
Great idea.
And then, you know, they can get a hose and wash it off.
I think it's fun. I think it's definitely happening. With weather like this, we have to have meetings outside.
Yeah.
That's it today. We have one of those great groups for the product. People can go outside. Right?
Sure, it's actually very popular for us. It's nice to have something to write.
But if people have a computer, they're within range of you. Well, computers do work without Wi-Fi. You might have forgotten that. They do actually work. So, all right.
Also bring a projector onto the wall.
It's probably not going to work so well in the daylight, though. All right. I'm going to... here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to talk for another 15 or so minutes, and then we're going to switch gears, and Tim's going to take over and talk more about PA1 and all the fun that's going to be. So I'm going to not go through all the stuff I've got here. I think that what I think would be the most interesting and useful is to do this. I wrote down a list, and you're welcome to add something to this list. I wrote down a list of sites that you are, or activities that you are familiar with that are not on the surface games. And the assignment for each group of about 3 or 4 people is to think about them and see, well, clearly they're not necessarily games, but see what you would do, in what way they are game-like, and in what way they are not game-like, and then see what you could add to them to make them more game-like. To make, and with the purpose of making them more engaging, more interesting, and make more people adopt them. Okay? So that's it. So 4 on 4 groups, random groups, whatever. Each group takes one, and so first come, first serve. So groups form so we can decide what to pick. Go. You're right there.
You want to let people go outside?
Of course, go outside. Okay, they got Google. Okay, how to make Google into a game? Or what way is Google a game? How to make it more a game? Facebook. How to make a game? How to make it more a game? Yes. Pardon? Twitter. Yeah. And? What? Okay. All right, so we got 4 groups. Sending to JBS is one group. Twitter is another group. Google is another group. Facebook is another group. And when you come back in, each one's going to give a little presentation on the results. Go. No, you can do it here. Yeah, you can do wherever you want. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay? Yeah. Don't waste time. Just get going. 15 minutes. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. I'm so
Can you put her outside?
Yeah, you said what's the
I want to hear some good ideas. Come on. Come up with some clever ideas that you can sell to those guys.
So we have